I'm here with Danny, the newly appointed assistant coach of the Atlanta Reign. Interestingly, also part of a duo now in a rather unorthodox approach, I would generally say, given like in contrast to the Overwatch League.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people aren't aware of you. You were usually pretty behind the scenes. We're doing some stuff there, and that's sort of like our task now to illuminate what you actually did over the last couple of years. So let's start at the beginning. What was your entrance into professional Overwatch?
My entrance into Overwatch. So I don't know how much people like actually know about me. My name is Danny. I'm currently 18 years old. I think my career in Overwatch started when I was 15. And this started, I was working with a bunch of like tier 3 teams, things like that. And then actually I ended up helping GOATS, which was the team that created the GOATS comp. This is where I met Gator, things like that. And eventually I ended up working on Team Canada with the Jane, XUC, things like that. And all of that led to Brad DMing me one day. He's like, I want to work with you. I think you're sick. Let's do this kind of tryout here for Atlanta. I want to see what you got. And I don't know, Brad really liked me. And now it's history. Yeah.
How involved were you in the development of the GOATS comp? I like Liquipedia is dating you like only for a couple of weeks with GOATS. We know like sometimes people work longer than their official announcement. So how involved were you in that devilish comp?
I don't know how much I was directly involved with. Like we kind of had a couple strategies here and there. I think this was during Beat Invitational, the first time that the GOATS comp came out. I was with the team then. We were all together. I think that was actually like a really, really like happy moment for me. Big like jump. It was like the first team, like a tier 3 team, started beating teams like NRG, teams like that. Yeah, that was a really good moment.
Did you feel that comp had something to it in terms of like, because like other respected coaches at the time were like arguing, this is never going to take hold in Overwatch League and whatnot. Did you think, okay, you guys don't know what this is capable of, or?
I think there's definitely some kind of like ceiling with the comp. Like this comp was like so good, it's so dominant for the next Overwatch League season. I remember even Brad telling me when he saw the Beat Invitational with the GOATS team, he was talking to his coach Junkbuck when he was on Shock, and he was saying, "Oh, maybe we could just play fair. We can play Junkrat, try to beat it or something like that." But then actually this meta started developing, and GOATS was just super dominant for the rest of the year. They even had to implement role lock. So that was just like crazy to me to think about how like the GOATS team literally changed the game forever.
Can you describe like what it was like to get in contact with Brad? Because we know he's pretty in tune with like the tier 2 scene and like developing talent there. How was your first meeting with Brad?
My first meeting with Brad, wow. I think it was literally just the DM on Discord. Like he just messaged me, "Hi, I've heard a lot about you. Let's hop on a call." And it's just history from then. Like I know Brad really likes to like reach out to like tier 2 teams, things like that. He's like really involved with the scene, involved with everyone around the scene. Really good by him.
Right. And then you eventually make it onto the Atlanta Reign.
Yeah.
But that is, for the most part, you're just an analyst there, right? And in esports in general, and especially the term analyst, can mean a lot of things. So what did you actually do for the Reign?
Okay, so I think in my very first year, I was a bit like very shy. This was like Overwatch League Season 2. I would really only like work with like stats, things like that, different stats for like GOATS comp. And then during like player trials, we would analyze stats on like how players were performing, things like that. I think when I was like really young, it was hard for me to like be involved with like the coaching, things like that. But I think over the past couple of years, I've been a lot more involved with like VOD reviews, giving player feedback, things like that. And I think my role has kind of evolved a lot more since then.
What kind of approaches do you take? Are you more like the type of guy that says things about the macro, the micro, stats? What's the approach generally?
I kind of like talking about a bit of everything, to be honest. But I think before I was like really, really like shy. So whenever I would find something that someone was doing, or like we were playing against an opponent, like, oh, maybe we should do this to counter like Grav Diva Bomb combos, things like that. When like the Ryans were like pinning to get like Grav Diva Bomb combos, that was like a really big thing in GOATS. I would like show our other coaches like Brad, Kasaurus, and Silence, and then they would bring it up for like furthermore. But then now it's just me talking. So I think that's like a skill I've been trying to develop. Just being honest, open, not trying to like go through many people at the same time.
The topic of gaining authority, especially as a
Yeah.
coach, is pretty hard given
Yeah.
especially your age.
Yeah.
Is there something that you have struggled with in the past, or is it generally established through your knowledge that there's some authority there?
Yeah, I think especially in my first couple of years, like especially with all the Korean players, me not being like at the team house with everyone, it was pretty hard for like Overwatch League season 2 and season 3. But I think now I'm really comfortable with all the players on the team. Like I've known Gator a long time, Hawk a long time from the tier 3 scene, and I think even like last year I was like really good friends with like Pelican, Iris, everyone, Masa. Like I've known him for 3 years. And I think that kind of trust has been just gaining over time. And I think for this next season, I'm going to be a lot more confident just working with the team, things like that.
Are you going to be physically in the same place as the team?
Yes, this year I am planning on moving in with the team for the first time. Yes.
So you mentioned, I mean, you started pretty young. How do you manage? Like, I assume you're at school on the side, right? So how does that work?
Yes. Wow. I don't know how I've been able to manage it. Like I remember my first year, like I would come home from school and I would literally just run home just because we had like a scrim or whatever. But yeah, it's been really hard. Like I've had to finish school, and yeah, it was really hard to like manage all like schoolwork, get scrims in, things like that. Like it's hard, but manageable, I guess. And I really appreciate the team for like being flexible. If I had to miss like a scrim block or something like that, they're really flexible. That's okay. It's good.
Is it hard to convince parents that that this is something you want to do?
Yes, it's very hard. I think like the biggest moment for my mom was that once Brad really wanted to get me onto the team. I think this was World Cup 2018, maybe. My mom actually flew with me to LA, and we got to meet the owners of Atlanta, and we met Brad as well. This was in the Blizzard Arena, yeah. And I think that was the moment my mom realized this is a real thing. This is a real career that you can do. And I think she's been really supportive ever since.
Was there a discussion at all about, I assume you now finished school, or are you going to take online classes, or what?
I'm finishing this semester of online class in university, but then once I actually physically relocate to Atlanta, I'm done. I'm done with school.
Of university. So what is your current level of education?
So I finished high school. I'm doing one small semester of university. I kind of made a deal with my parents that if I want to full commit to Overwatch and esports and everything, I'm going to at least try one semester of school. And right now there's not too much going on, so I'm just doing a little bit. Yeah.
Right. Now, of course, I think we can see that there was high confidence in you as a strategical mind for the game. Now, there's going to be more requirements, because if you guys are only going with 2 coaches, coaching is more than just knowing the game well. So is there
100%.
a certain skill set that you think you will need to develop or improve upon next year?
Yeah, I think I really want to just work and just be trusted by all the players. I think being in person with all the players is going to help that a lot. Just like having fun times with them, things like that. Yeah, I just want them to trust me. And I think coaching like through Discord or whatever, voice chat is like way different than coaching like in person, actually physically talking to someone. You could see their emotion, you could see whatever. I think that's something that's going to be hard for me, but I want to just keep improving, just getting better every single day.
Right. Then we hope for an eventual release of Overwatch 2, and we'll look forward to your team performing next year, and wish you the best of luck with that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.